And we really were raised to believe that, like, if you just work your ass off and check all the things on the checklist and follow the rules, you're going to do great. Part of that was going to film school and learning how to properly budget and schedule a film and to hire all the right people in all the right positions and ask them to do their jobs. And we got so obsessed with the propriety of everything that we literally built this gorgeous, perfectly layered hamburger with the toasted bun and the lettuce and the cheese and the tomato and the aioli and everything. And we're like, oh, we forgot the hamburger. We forgot the meat. Luckily, what happened to us is after struggling for many years to try to figure out what we were good at, what we had to offer, we really believed we had something. And one day when I think I was 24 and Jay was 28, I was like, Jay, we're making a movie today, you know, and I'd done this before. This is the nature of our dynamic. I'm like always trying to push us off the cliff, and Jay's always just like, all right, well, let's just don't get crazy, you know? And so I was like, look, we're gonna make a movie today. And he's like, well, we don't have a camera, we don't have lights, we don't have a first AD. And I was like, forget all the shit we learned in film school, forget it all. Like, mom and dad's video camera.
Right.
I'm going to get a tape, and I'm coming back. And I did, and when I came back, he's like, okay, I tried to record the outgoing greeting of my answer machine for the last movie we were making, and it took me like 20 tries to get it right, and I almost like had an emotional breakdown. And I was like, ooh. I was like, that's interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna improvise this. I'll be you improvising it, and you just film me, you know? This felt like us when we were little, following our instincts. All communication was nonverbal, very Neanderthal-like. And we edited it down, and it was our first movie that got into Sundance. And that has set the tone for everything we're doing today, which is, as much as possible, to trust that like weird little voice inside of us that's saying like, shoot Blue Jay in black and white. And then this other side of my voice is like, dude, that's pretentious. Don't make black and white narrative movies in 2016. Everybody's gonna call you pretentious. The critics are gonna tear you apart for that. Don't do that. Just think of, you want it to be in black and white, you feel it, go for it, just trust it. And the more I do that, the better off I am generally.
How you doing? This is Cory Hunter, and welcome to another episode. We're gonna dive straight into it. In this interview, Mark was speaking about going with your instincts. It sounds so simple, but it's not, because they say work smarter, not harder. So we all learn how to use this and not how to use this. What people don't understand is that this right here, this heart, this emotion, it is a brain. We have to teach it to become smart. That's what they call tough love, or having thick skin. Becoming emotionally intelligent is like underrated. Nobody speaks about it, but we need to become emotionally intelligent, and that's what a lot of experienced directors have over everyone else. It's that through grinding and experience and hard work, they learn how to have emotional intelligence. Leaders have emotional intelligence. Anybody who's in charge of anything usually have emotional intelligence, because they have to be able to motivate the troops, get the troops to do what they need the troops to do, while not necessarily barking orders at them. Nobody really likes being told what to do. And when I say that, it's perfectly fine in terms of taking orders. Like if your mother asks you, do her a favor and go to the store and get her some milk. What's the problem in that, right? So it's not about being told what's need to be done. As adults, we understand how the world operates. We understand jobs and positions, and why certain people have certain positions. In an ideal situation, right, we understand that person who's in that position is there because of a certain wisdom. And so when we are given orders, and since we all have the same goal, it's not a problem to do what needs to be done. especially when we believe it's coming from a pure place, not somebody necessarily taking advantage of their authority, but somebody who is looking at the master plan but also have your own personal needs in their mind, who care for your well-being. Usually directors develop that. They develop that emotional intelligence. They learn how to give orders without people feeling devalued. That's extremely important. And that in itself is a certain instinct. Instincts are important. We can't just go to school and just learn the mental stuff. And yeah, that's fine. Like, yeah, the mental stuff is not overrated. We need that, right? But we can't underrate the emotional aspect, the instincts, because that's also necessary. It's just as important as the mental stuff. They need to be developed together in terms of like leading people and being great leaders, or all that, but it's just important in general. A lot of times we don't get a handle on our instincts and our minds. Sometimes our mind and our instincts are at odds with each other, because your instincts do want to protect you, and sometimes it can stop you from growing stronger. However, we can't become stronger without it either. For example, when it comes to filmmaking, the art world, you being a creator, YouTuber, or whatever it is that you're trying to attain, if we don't follow our instincts, which is, let me get up right now and start filming something, then our work is going to feel the negative effects of that, because we're not following our instincts. If you overthink things, your mind will talk you into something and out of it, into it, and right out of it, right again. We can't rationalize everything. You have to breathe. You have to eat. You need water. And if you want to accomplish something, you have to do something. And not only do you have to do something, you have to do it consistently. And sometimes our instincts tell us that, and because it's telling us that, sometimes it gives us the other effect too. Sometimes you say, oh man, I need to film, and the instinct right after that is pressure. And then your mind tells you, look, you're not ready because your blood is boiling. Maybe you need to settle down. No, you need to follow your instinct and sit in front of the camera and figure that out. And by figuring out your instincts, by following your instincts, you will be able to achieve things. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, until next time.